Hi, this is Bruce Ward that I'm with, and he is a financial services professional with Larson Financial Services over in Lake Stevens, and they are associated with New York Life. And of course, I'm Sandy Chambers with Keller Williams Realty. And I had some questions of Bruce. I have a number of clients that are, we'll say 60 years old, give or take, have probably 5, maybe 10, but probably around 5 years left of their working life. And I'm just wondering what kind of questions or tips, but probably what questions should they be thinking about as they are nearing the end of their working time.
Well, Sandy, what I normally do with everybody, whether they're 20-year-olds or 60-year-olds, is we do what's called a fact finder.
Okay.
And all that is name and address and assets that you have, that you own, your retirement accounts, any pensions that you might have. And we just ask questions to find out where it is that they want to be in retirement. And I can't help anybody out until I have a picture of where they're at now.
Okay.
And the second thing is, what's that picture going to look like in retirement for you? Where do you want to be? And then they ask me, well, do I have enough money to get there? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. We have to talk about that and learn that. So it's basically, the fact finding is just asking questions and finding out more about the individual. Are both of you working? Are you going to work from now until retirement? Are you going to work after retirement? We have to find out what kind of Social Security they're going to have. Mm-hmm. Do they have a pension where they're at? There's very few of those out there anymore, but if they do, then that's a good thing.
Right.
And just ask a lot of questions and find out where they want to be.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. If they're thinking about their personal, physically, or, you touched a little bit on, finances. How does their physical or their health fit into that?
It can be a tremendous asset or a tremendous burden.
Right.
The biggest thing people worry about is if I'm going to have enough money to last the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just told you a few minutes ago, well, you tell me when it is that you might pass and we can figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
There's long-term care issues that are becoming more and more important as day goes on, because it just costs a lot to go into a long-term care facility, up to $90,000 a year, which is kind of scary. So if you're healthy and you're doing well now, that's what we kind of base things on, and we kind of move forward.
Okay. Good. I know I've heard that, figuring out how much money you need to have. Do I need to have $300,000? Do I need to have $500,000? Do I need to have $1 million? How do you figure out that number? How do you figure out for each person what that number is?
That number changes for everybody. Somebody might be happy with $250,000, but they might have $6,000, $7,000 a month on income from pensions and Social Security. They might not need a lot. It's going to be whatever their picture they want the future to look like. And if they tell me that I want to be at $500,000 and I'm at $250,000 now, then I can set out a plan for them as far as what we need to do to get there. This is what you need to do. We start off that process by, you need to give me a budget, and that's not a bad thing. It really nails people down as far as, well, I could save myself $300 or $400 a month if I just didn't do these 1 or 2 different things, and I might not miss those things out of my life. Mm-hmm. We start taking that into consideration, and you can start building up that retirement account a lot faster.
Okay. What if I've never had a budget, and I've never really? What if I don't really know how much it costs me to live, and so I don't know how to look at it, what I'm going to need?
Right. Whether you really know it or not, you have a budget. You might not live by it all the time.
Right.
With credit cards and other things like that. But you have a budget. This is how much money I make each month, mm-hmm. And this is what I spend it on. Mm-hmm. And if you come to the end of the month and your checking account isn't where it should be or isn't in accordance with what I make, well, then you're running in a deficit, right? So you're spending more than you're making. Well, that's you know what your budget is, right?
Right.
You're spending too much, so you got to get it in control. Okay. Some people do that, some people don't.
Right.
So you've got some idea.
Okay.
But when I give people a budget sheet, it goes right down the list: groceries, PUD, cable, rent,
So you can help me with
insurance.
that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's just like when somebody comes to you to buy a house.
Right,
I don't sell houses.
right,
I work with families and help people get to where they want to be in retirement, okay? And it's getting that professional to do the job for you, because that's what I do,
good,
okay?
good, very good. So, Bruce, if I was your best friend, or if I was your sister, and you're sitting down with me, and I'm coming up on 59, 60, 61, and I'm tired of working, and I'd like to start having an exit plan, what would be your advice to me? What would be the thing that you really, really want me to hear?
Well, first of all, sometimes it's really difficult working with family members, for sure,
Right.
because they sometimes don't want to share everything
Right.
that you need to know. That being said, some of the biggest joy I get is working with family members and good friends like yourself,
Mhm.
okay? Again, it really goes back to that fact finding. It goes back to what is it you have and what do you want your picture to look like at the end. And that picture can be anything. You know, it might be a mansion on a lake, okay? And then I can tell you, probably in a short amount of time, you might not be able to get that picture. We might have to scale that picture back. Everybody's always going to tell you save more money. You know, you can never save enough money,
Right,
and that's good. You got to save money, but you've also got to enjoy your life.
right,
So, really, the answer for your question is I'm not going to say anything different to my best friend or family that I'm going to send to somebody that I get a referral from that I have met for the first time. Because it is a personal experience, and it's really about relationships when you deal with us, as I deal with you, okay,
Nice.
on houses and whatever it is.
right,
You know, when I refer you because I know you as a person and as a friend.
right,
That's more what I want to be known as when I'm dealing with somebody. They need to know that I know what I'm talking about,
right,
and or if I don't, I can find an answer for them.
right.
But if they don't trust me and don't have a relationship with me, they're not going to want me to guide them to their new picture.
Right.
That makes sense?
That does. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you so much. Bruce, I so appreciate you taking your time to talk to both of our people here. And I just really appreciate your insight that you have into this time when people have a lot on their mind and they want to know, how do I work it out?
Yeah, great.
Okay.
It's been my pleasure, Sandy.